you don't see how big it is, but in any sport, sometimes you have a period of time where you find two players dominating the game, and that's what happened in 2024. I think every single major, it was a final played between us. So I think we played 12 finals, which is just an incredible
crazy
number. But when you're doing it, you don't think about it actually.
Welcome to another Boast About It. My name is James Green and I'm with Nouran Gohar, world #1, world champion, best squash player in the known universe. Thank you for talking to us again.
Thank you for having me, James, again.
So your second time talking to us. I'm just super grateful that you came. Thank you. And you're just leaving a squash camp here at Open Squash. How'd it go?
I love it. I love it. I just was talking to someone saying that this is one of the camps that I enjoy the most. I'm not saying this because I'm on camera or anything, but I really enjoy it here. Even to just come and train. Obviously, I live in Connecticut, which is not that close, but it's not that far as well. But and the facility is just amazing. The people are amazing. I just love the vibes, and I feel like at my age now, it's more important to have a place where you feel comfortable and you feel like you're happy to be there. So obviously, I'm very happy to be back at the camp here this year.
Wow. I mean, that's why we built it, so that's fantastic. Now, when you're coaching the kids, do you learn anything about your game from teaching others?
Yes, it does big time actually. You see it, I would say you see things from a very different perspective, because when you're on court, you don't see the bigger picture or the outside picture. That's one thing. And the other thing as well is that obviously you have different levels. So to try and explain to the kids how you do this or how it should be done, then you need to get into details, which doesn't really often, and details are very important in the level where we're playing at. So I feel like it makes me reflect more and think about it more, I would say, than just knowing it should be done that way. But then I understand why it should be, because kids ask questions and they're like, why should I do this? Or how should I do this? Which I love. And it's like, then it starts to click in their mind if you make them understand the meaning behind it or why they're doing it. So I feel it teaches me a lot as well, yeah.
Were there any standout moments from today? Anything that happened? Any little stories that...
There was so I have a lot of kids from previous years, and I'm so bad with names in general. Like I'm really, really bad, even with my own friends. Like
I'm James.
No, I know that. So there was Will, and I was like naming him Bill. The whole thing, the whole session.
No!
And then one of the coaches came at me. He's like, his name is Will. Actually, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I told him, I was like, why you didn't tell me? Why you didn't tell me my name is not Bill? He's like, I thought it's Will, actually. When you say Bill, I heard it Will. So I was like, okay. And then I'm like, if you play well, then your name is Will. If you play bad, your name is Bill.
When we talked last time, a year ago, you were number 2 at the time, and you had recovered from plantar fasciitis. You'd just gone on a streak of winning, like, I don't know, 25 matches in a row or something. Now we're a year later, you're back to world #1. I don't know how many finals you've had with Nour Shabini, like 11 or something crazy. It seems like every time you play, you end up. Do you feel like she's your #1 rival, or is there another one, or is it a group of people?
So obviously everyone is like hunting the top players. That's no secret. But if you talk about big finals and big titles, obviously Sherbini would be on top of my rivals for sure. And I mean, it's something that obviously right now you don't see how big it is, but in any sport. Sometimes you have a period of time where you find two players dominating the game, and that's what happened in 2024. I think every single major, it was a final played between us. So I think we played 12 finals, which is just an incredible number. But when you're doing it, you don't think about it actually. Yeah, like I didn't realize that until like statistics were out and like articles were written about it, but when you're doing it, you don't really realize how how crazy that is.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need to have someone like this to push you day in, day out, because you know that there's a player that is like chasing you. But then I feel like this year it was more than just this one player. There is a pack of players coming, and they're trying, because the more you elevate the game, the more the other players as well elevate the game, and they're chasing you, and there is nothing to lose really. You're always the hunted player.
Yeah.
And as a world number one, you always feel the danger whenever you're on court since the round one, because if you have a day off and the player is just on, they have nothing to lose. It's hard to deal with, and I feel like people don't realize that. They just think, yeah, it's easy, they get to the finals, it's just a piece of cake, you know, and it's not like that. Like, you need to bring the same intensity every match. Obviously in the semis and the finals, like, you bring an extra gear or something, but it's still very, very tough. And with the amount of tournaments and matches we play per year, like, I think this year I played around 13 tournaments, reaching the final of every single tournament except the World Championship. I lost in the semis. So if you do the math of the matches, like an average of 5 matches per tournament, it's just crazy.
It's a large number of matches. So I was talking to Mike Way, coach from Harvard, and he said explicitly it's much harder. He says it calls it playing down versus playing up.
Yes.
Like, it's much harder to play people who are below you, because like you have everything to lose, versus playing above you, which is you have everything to win.
Exactly.
And so you're saying you feel that.
Yeah, for sure. And then I feel like when you play with someone up there in the level, you're like, unconsciously, you just like, you're tuned in, you're focused, you're sometimes, with all due respect to everyone, but it's not easy I'm not talking only about myself, any of the top 3-4 girls, like, going into the first round and you're super excited. No, it's not like that. Like, you need to have, after some time and doing it for so long, like, it takes some days you're waking up, you're not feeling like being on court, but you have to do it. And I feel there's a lot behind the scenes that people don't understand, and yeah, but all I can say, it's harder than what it looks like.
So, you know, we had Amanda Sobey in the top 5, and then she had that tragic injury. She's coming back. But now we have Olivia Weaver in the top 5. Do you feel she can give you a run for the money? Do you feel she's in the...
Oh, for sure. I mean, we just played the final of the World Tour Finals. Yeah. Obviously, it was very, very close, and I was happy that I was able to turn it around and come up with a strong 4th game. But obviously, she improved massively, and she's playing great. And for sure, she was a player that had nothing to lose, and she's just improving. So obviously, it's a tricky match to play for sure.
Yeah. And you know, if you think of, in tennis, they have pretty explicit majors, but I think in squash we have majors too. You think the British Open, the US Open, the World Championships. No Americans, women's yet won one of those. You think it's going to happen?
Yeah, like, the probability of happening is there. But again, if you look in the past, if I'm not mistaken, like, since 2020, after COVID, 2021, 2022, I think every single major was won by either myself, Sherbini, or Hania.
Yeah.
So there was a big dominance in there.
Yeah.
The potential is there, but you need to bring everything right that week, and it's not something easy to do. Like, I always say it, like, you can have a good day and beat anyone, but the consistency of doing it is something else.
Yeah. And you have to be consistent to win a whole tournament.
Exactly.
At least 5 matches. When we talked last time, you'd been coming off this plantar fasciitis injury, but you've had more injuries during the last year, right?
Yeah.
How's your body doing? How is that? I mean, I'm a lot older than you, but for me, when I get on squash at this point, everything hurts. How are you doing?
I broke my nose during one of the matches in the final of Qatar, and obviously it wasn't the most pleasant thing. It was very, very painful. Like,
yeah.
And playing with a broken nose is not fun, for sure. And I had to deal with this, so obviously that wasn't. But it was something that, I mean, it's just an accident. It's out of my hands. Like, it's not like I I did injure myself because I have a weakness or something. And then but then during TUC I did strain my MCL, which wasn't very nice too. But I had a history of MCL, so I knew exactly what happened, and I knew what I needed to do to like try and get back on court as soon as possible. So I mean, obviously,
so it's pretty good. You're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, some niggles, but it's okay. I dealt with it in the right way, I think.
I was looking at some of your matches, and you seem to have, I don't know if it's possible, even more finesse at the front of the court. And I wondered whether that was related to your injuries or not, but it sounds like not.
No, it's something obviously that I've been trying to work on, not only last year, but for the past couple of years. It's no secret, but then it's like having the belief to execute it during big moments and big matches. I think that's what came out, especially at the end of the season with the British, and I was very happy with that. That I believe, because I have the ability to do that, but then sometimes with tense moments, like you get back to what you're more comfortable of doing. But I mean, it's I was happy with how it ended up at the end. Yeah.
The other thing that's changed, which really has nothing to do with you, is the political climate here. You know, one of the things that's happened is, you know, Egypt was put on maybe a travel thing and maybe not. Does this affect you at all mentally, or do you think about it, or you just like do your thing and ignore it?
I mean, thankfully, obviously, people on visas and stuff, it's not an easy thing, but thankfully, so my husband is actually Egyptian American, so
he's a U.S. citizen.
So he's a U.S. citizen, and I have my green card. So I mean, you never know, obviously, with everything happening. But I think, but for the fact that your family comes and visits and stuff like that, obviously, it's on your mind. But then, thankfully, like we travel a lot. I go back and forth. I go back to Egypt to see my family. So that wasn't a major issue. But obviously, it's on your mind. But then you cannot think about it too much, because whatever happens, you're just gonna deal with it at the right moment. But if you just in any circumstances in life, like I feel like if you start panicking about it before it happens, like there's no point.
Yeah. Fair enough. So you're able to continue pretty much.
Thankfully,
It's not a big deal. And as you said, you're sort of splitting your time between here and Egypt, right? You're living mostly here, but
no, I live here, but then during we have a lot of tournaments in Egypt, so
right.
I go back to play these tournaments, and then obviously I stay a couple more days to see my family.
Yeah. And that's all been good and
thankfully,
not been affected.
until now. Touch wood, hopefully nothing happens.
So if there's a tournament worth winning, you've won it. What keeps you going now? Like, what is the motivation? What do you? Because
no secret, the Olympics.
The Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it happened for a reason for myself, because I feel like if the Olympics were in there, maybe the motivation would have been less, or there would be like a slowing down, because after you achieved a lot in the game, and then you won every single event, and thankfully I won 4 US Opens, 3 British Opens, Guna 3 times, like multiple times of event. Obviously, it's always great when you add one more, but it's not the same joy as the first one.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you retire with 5 US Open instead of 4, I mean, obviously it's better to have the 5, but then you're not gonna die, and then and it's not like in the back of your mind that, I wish I won that. Yeah. So it's good for me, because I kind of play with no pressure, because I really have nothing to lose. Everything else is bonus. Any extra tournament is bonus, and in that way I actually perform better.
Oh wow, so it really does help you knowing that I've won all these before, and my goal is the Olympics.
Yeah, I think so. But then, because I've lived this life with my husband himself competing in 3 Olympics, so I do see how stressful it can get, especially the year of the qualification, and things happen last minute, and then God forbid, but you can get injured, and so you need to be, it's something very important, but not to stress out too much, because it can affect you big time, physically and mentally. So the Olympics, I use it as a motivation, but not as a stress factor, I would
Right.
say.
I hadn't thought about that. I mean, I know your husband's a fencer and he
Yeah.
does super well, but I hadn't thought about the fact that actually you get to go with him.
Yeah,
Like he's been going for
I
12
attended
years
Paris.
and you haven't been able to.
So Tokyo, obviously, because it was COVID, so no audience were allowed there.
Right.
No crowd. But in Paris, I went.
Yeah.
And it was good. He came fourth, which was heartbreaking a bit because obviously he won a
Just
medal.
out of the medal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very different. It's a different experience. It's no other event on the planet is similar to the Olympics for sure. So it was good to have this experience from someone that is very close to you. So that obviously when you live it yourself, it's still different. But then you get some insights and you see and living obviously with him, I do see how it's done a bit and. Yeah, hopefully I can get some experience from him.
It's fantastic. Yeah, well, I hope to see you both in the Olympics in Los Angeles in a couple of years. Your big motivator is the Olympics. Are there any other things that you're either looking forward to or that keep you up at night? Anything else?
What keeps me, with complete honesty, what keeps me going forward is the fact that I want to improve as a player every single day, and having this fire or this incentive it keeps me going back to training with the same motivation, with the same fire in me that I want to improve, that I want to keep on getting better and better. I feel like the moment where the player thinks he's the best player in the world and there's nothing else to be added, that's the moment where he's gonna just collapse completely. So
I agree with you.
Yeah. Because a lot of people tell me like, you're number one, why keep on, training with the same intensity, or why do you get into every single match with the same will and the same, like, you really want to win as if it's your first match to win? Because I feel like if you lose this, you lose yourself, and that's the moment where everyone is just gonna jump on you. And I feel actually when you get to the top of the game, you shouldn't like slow down. You should actually go faster and faster, and that's my mindset and how I think about things. And I think thankfully until now I have this, so I'm happy with that. And
like you said, you have a whole pack hunting you down.
Exactly. So I feel as well when you shift your mind to more of a performance, like it's more performance oriented than results oriented, it makes a huge difference.
One of the big things that everyone's talking about in squash is Quash Bad Squash. I'm sure you've seen the things. I think you were even featured in one of them. But mostly it's focused on the men's game and Sal in particular. But he's gone after a few others. Do you have an opinion about any of that? Do you think it's bad for the sport?
I didn't bother watching him, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't bother watching. I just feel that's why the referees are there to pinpoint things, and they have been doing their meetings after every single match.
Do you think it's affected the referees at all? Do you think
they obviously it affected everyone, and obviously the players are making use of it, and I do because I didn't watch it, so I cannot say my opinion about it because I didn't really watch it. I heard about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you wanna pinpoint every single step that a player is taking, again, I'm not saying that certain players are not doing wrong stuff, but it happens, and sometimes it's intentionally and sometimes it's unintentional, and so every situation is so different than the other, so you cannot just generalize things and say, oh, this is the bad guy, or this is okay, incidents happen, but then it's I feel like it's the referee's job to say, okay, and that's why you have contact strokes, you have contact games, you have warnings, and they're doing it. But the fact that you're trying to influence the people and the squash fan base, and I don't think that's the right thing to do. But again, it's my own opinion, and but I feel like any of the players that they're talking about or feature, they don't get annoyed 1% even.
Oh, they don't. Yeah.
I don't think
They don't
because
care.
I just think it's everyone is entitled to say his own opinion anyway.
yeah.
So like
Well,
you
look, I
want
think
stuff,
that's I think that's pretty impressive because you know, social media can be pretty toxic.
yes, it is very toxic. It can make out of you a hero on one day,
Yeah.
and then after a few
Crush
days
you the
can
next.
the next day. So
Yeah.
if you keep on listening to it, you're just gonna get ruined, and it's mentally, it's not healthy mentally for you. And not only in the squash, I see it in tennis and big
Oh, yeah.
names. Like
Yeah.
you see one action that they do, and then they forget that these people are human at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
no,
and
no.
then they can lose it sometimes. They can do stuff. Yes, I understand that people want to see them like perfect, but then they're human at the end of the day. They can say things that because they're angry or they're not feeling themselves on that day, and it's not forgiven at all. Like you, and that's why I feel like it's sad because the people that are criticizing these like athletes or something are humans themselves, so they're not AI. They should understand more. Like there is emotions, and you by just saying something bad, you can affect someone's day, and you don't need to be harsh. You can say your opinion for sure. You can don't like, but don't be like just bad and harsh. That's my only concern.
Don't make the weather cloudy and rainy.
That's my only concern. Like you can like the player, you can like the personality, you can don't like the person. That's completely fine, and but don't be harsh and just like hurt the person. Like I don't see a point out of that. Like,
I agree. Well, look, before the rain comes tumbling down, thank you again. Thank you so
James.
much for coming. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Yeah. All good.
Perfect.
Thank you.